Vegemite.
You know, I don't see what all the fuss is about Vegemite being disgusting. Your stuff's actually pretty good. Could use a little something more though. Maybe some eggs.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the ASMR review show. We are continuing our journey through the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard ASMR final review series. The next album we arrived at is a bit of an odd one, because it's Oddments, which is like the first B-sides album of the band. And main thing is there's a song on there called Vegemite. So I figured, hey, this might be an interesting time to actually go out of my way to get some Vegemite. So I had to order this like from Australia or United Kingdom or whatever. No, it's United Kingdom I ordered it from, but it's supposed to be Australia. And it took like 2 months to get here, and I didn't even realize it had arrived first because I didn't have a tracking number. And yeah, I went through a lot to get this, okay? This is the reason why these reviews took a while, because I wanted to make sure I could at least actually get some Vegemite for the review. So, for those of you who don't know, Vegemite is like a yeast extract. That's what it's referred to, proudly made in Australia since 1923. And it's like a spread, mainly for like sandwiches. Yeast extract from yeast grown on barley and wheat, salt, malt extract from barley, flavor enhancer, potassium chloride, color, spice extracts, celery, thiamine, riboflavin, folic acid. Yeah. And it's like nutritional information, all that stuff on the back. So this is not to be confused with Marmite. Marmite, it's kind of similar, but having seen videos on that looks like it's more of a molasses type thing, whereas this is more of like a spread. You know, kind of looks like Nutella, spreads like Nutella, but you don't want to use it like Nutella, and it's a very odd smell. Like, can you guys smell that through the microphones? I don't know how you describe it. Like, I almost feel like there's a bit of a musk to it. And yeah, this is like for sandwiches, and the main thing you do, you get a nice piece of toast, and yeah, get a nice good slab of butter on it, and then just a knife tip of Vegemite. This ain't Nutella, right? You don't spread it too much, and it's just gonna overpower it. It's gonna taste gross, and that's what most, uneducated people will do when they get Vegemite. But there's a great video from great classic Australian Hugh Jackman himself, and he details on, I think it was like Jimmy Fallon or whatever, how to properly eat Vegemite, like the right amount, the right way to do it. Just big scoop and full on in as is, right? So I'm gonna have a bit of it now, just a small bit, because like that amount there, you'd be using more than that on a piece of toast. But just for taste purposes right now, that's just gonna do that a little bit, because that's all you need, right? It's like quite strong. It's a very salty flavor. That's why I think it's really nice for like toast and stuff. It kind of adds that bit of that salt to it. Really, that's how you use this. Like, instead of putting salt and sprinkling it on top. No, you just take a little bit of this, just take a little bit of that, and smear it on your sandwich or your toast or whatever, and then there you go. Extra bit of salt. Very nice indeed. So, I've been using this because of the King Gizzard song, which we'll get to the album in a bit. And that's because, obviously, Vegemite's an Australian thing, and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is a Australian band. And in the song, they talk about having it on toast with avocados and tomatoes and Vegemite. So I tried that myself, and yeah, it's actually a pretty fun combination. Like, toast, avocado, tomato is already good in of itself, but then you throw some Vegemite on there and it just adds that little extra zest to it. I know the other thing that Stu talked about in an interview was having a poached egg and cheese on top of that, which I'm not sure if he'd do that anymore, because I think he was vegetarian, and hence why there's no meat in any of this, right? And then I think now he's vegan, so he probably wouldn't be having cheese and eggs on Vegemite toast, right? And perhaps he's got something else, or like a vegan cheese or something. I personally am not vegan, so I don't have any qualms about doing that. So actually what I've done to get real fancy is you get like toast, or maybe even like a cheese bagel, and you get that with your Vegemite and your avocado, and then your tomato, maybe some lettuce as well, cheese, maybe like a jalapeno cheese. I like my spiciness, you know. Some kind of like a meat, perhaps like a deli ham or a pepper ham. Maybe if you want to be real adventurous, some good old Canadian back bacon, which is, you know, just like Canadian bacon is back bacon, ham. It's a bit of an odd thing. And then poached egg on top, and there you go. It's a very nice, good, delicious brunch. Very filling indeed. And that Vegemite gives it just that little extra zest and flavor. So, you know, that's really fun stuff. And on the topic of mysterious unknown flavors, an oddment, according to the band, is like they'd go to these supermarkets, and the supermarkets there would have like individual cans of soda that were originally part of a large pack, and they were being sold by themselves at a discount price. So I thought about getting an individual soda or root beer for this video as the drink, but I also thought, with Vegemite being a weird thing, and that Oddments being a weird thing, an odd thing, that this would be interesting to try. And this is that mystery beer from Mariner Brewing. They did a mystery beer a while back, and it was like they had one person brew the beer, and only they knew the ingredients for it, and then it was like a contest to like guess what was in it. So now they've gone and done another one. At the time of recording this, I'm not sure if this contest is still all going. I may have missed my mark on that. So I'm going to try it now. I'll see what I think of it and what I could perhaps guess is in this beer. I like the description on the back. It has like, may contain secrets, mysteries, the general feeling of wonder, love, barley, wheat, oats, hops, pepper, yuzu, orange, passion fruit, guava, grapefruit, tangerine, lime, lemon, blend, grapes, paradise, pear, peach, nectarine, watermelon, honeydew, mango, strawberry, kiwi, pineapple, blah, 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 blah. A whole bunch of berries and fruits in there, right? That it might have. See, I'm not good at this. Like, I can tell what it is, but like, if you ask me to pick out like what it is, I don't know. It's difficult. It like, not really an IPA. Maybe a Hefeweizen. For fruit, though, like there's a bit of a tart to it, but it's not strong or sour. A bit of a bitterness to it. Not a saison, not a gose, not a hazy, hoppy pale ale or anything like that. I don't know. This is why I don't do this contest stuff. You know, it's all beyond me, right? But definitely a fun, odd little drink. So let's get on to the album of the day. I've gone probably over 10 minutes into this video now, and I haven't even talked about it, but to be fair, I'm making up for the time because I don't have too much to say about Oddments. So, as I said before, Oddments, it's the B-Sides album. As it says here, it's a collection of odd songs that were written and recorded between 2007 to 2014. The original pressing was a rainbow-splattered wax housed in a triple gatefold sleeve, limited to 500 copies. It was repackaged in the USA in 2014, but has since been out of print. So this is a purple colored vinyl with a redesigned gatefold of original art by Jason Galea. So, yeah, basically after the first couple albums, 12 Bar Brews and Float Along and Willoughby's Beach, Teenage Gizzard years, they kind of threw together Oddments as like a little collection of the B-sides and outtakes and stuff. And for an album that was made to be a bunch of B-sides and outtakes, it sounds like an album that's a bunch of B-sides and outtakes. But hey, the art's pretty cool. Like, that's pretty trippy. And then you like fold it out like this. And wow. Honestly, y'all should pause the video and look at it because there's some really cool stuff. Like, I see over here, there's like, is that the King Gizzard or the Lizard Wizard from 12 Bar Brews? There's like this shape here, this weird thing, and it's a little hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that if the album was originally a triple gatefold, like this panel here, like would fade in perfectly to this, so you'd have this triple artwork thing going on, triple gatefold thing. It's really detailed, really well done. Do you ever remember the Raggedy Ann animated movie with like those scenes with the greedy, the weird sludge monster that's just like all eating all the sweets and the desserts, and then there's the weird nights and then the guy who like laughs and his head expands and stuff. It's a really weird, surreal movie. Like, that's not a kid's movie. That's some hardcore nightmare fuel for if you're younger. But all this art kind of reminds me of that style, you know, like a kid's movie when it goes into the nightmare sequence. And then the track listing here is on the back, and even though it's not the greatest collection of songs, again, the artwork's fun, so you always gotta enjoy that with vinyls. Love the artwork. On one side here, we have the lyrics, and on the other side, we have sort of a description about this, which I'll read for you now. What can I say about this record? We used to go to the local grocery store and pick up what was labeled as an oddment. This was, to my understanding at the time, a delicious can of soda left over from a larger pack, sold at a discounted rate. We were poor, thirsty young men looking for a bargain, and this sugar kick fueled the record. It also fittingly described the nature of the songs, leftovers, potpourri, a bubble and squeak of a record. So there's like details about the origins behind all the songs. Cookie wrote Crying when he was 16, and the two of us used to play it in our old band. who tried It's Got Old for 12-bar brews and flowed along before the third and final recording worked. Sleepwalker was reworking of a song we cut from Willoughby's Beach. ABABCD was a TV show theme Joey wrote. The rest were recording experiments. Work this time at Stressing were Joey and I trying to record soulful music. Aluda Majaka was a way to test out a new synthesizer I had bought. Homeless Man and Adidas is an attempt to make quiet music. Hot Wax was a home recording Ambrose and I made. And Vegemite is just Vegemite. This record was a slate clearer, a head cleaner, a spring cleaning for the mind. It helped us move on to I'm in Your Mind Fuzz and Quarters, which were made abroad amongst fairly constant Europe and USA touring. Our last Innocent record, maybe. I think it was a full stop at the end of a period of adolescence. Anyway, enjoy. Love, Stu. Oh, that's nice. And then just the band members all labeled there. Funny that Joey here is Joe Walker. That's interesting. And apparently Monty Harnett plays drums on Crying and Pipe Dream. And then all the lyrics here. So, yeah, I mean, I've already stated probably a bit in these reviews, and you'll go on to hear me say it in all the other reviews, but the side of Giz that I like the most is the aggressive, in-your-face, fast-paced garage rock, or the heavy stuff, or the microtonal stuff, or the proggy stuff. I'm not too much into the indie rock psychedelic side, which I know a lot of people like. And this album is definitely the lowest of the quality of that type of sound. Here's the record for you. It's purple. It kind of goes along with the color scheme. I think it's meant to be like Grimace, McDonald's. Purple. Yeah, it's cool. So, I enjoy some of the songs on here, but I find most of it I'm not really listening to it on a regular basis. So, Vegemite is the one I listen to the most because it's just upbeat and it's fun and, you know, it's fun. It's Vegemite. It's the Australian national anthem, right? I like Hot Wax as well. It's very fun and weird, especially the very higher-pitched vocals from Ambrose Kenny Smith, whom strangers call Kenny. Work This Time is a very nice, fun, chill song. But other than that, I mean, there's a few good songs here and there, but nothing that I'm really coming back to nearly as frequently as other albums. And the band kind of admits it, like, this was all about getting these songs done and set up so they could, like, wipe the slate clean and move on to the next phase and era of the band, which was I'm in Your Mind Fuzz. You know, we'll get to that soon, but that one is quite a step up in the sound from Oddments. Came out the same year, too, you know, so they more than made up for it. This is not to say that it's bad. Like, I love King Gizzard. There's no album from them that I actively dislike or hate. At least at this time. Who knows? Maybe they made a mumble rap album by the time I got these reviews out. You never know. The point is that it's just an album that's intentionally like the B-side stuff, the filler stuff, you know, the D-tier music. It's just kind of thrown in there and stuff like that. So I know some people enjoy the sound of it, and there are fans of it, and if you do like that, that's really good. But for me personally, I'd like to be moving on to other albums than Oddments in particular. But we got that really fun music video for Vegemite where Stu's just hanging out in his comfy shirt and eating Vegemite, you know, and hey, I am really glad about this album because if Giz hadn't made this album, we wouldn't have gotten the song Vegemite, and I would have never ordered Vegemite, and I would have never found out how much I really enjoy having this on toast with avocados and tomatoes, and throwing in cheese and meats and poached eggs and bagels and cheddar and all that fun stuff, you know. So I'm glad the album exists, and the fact that this allowed them to cleanse the palate and give her all for what they got for the next set of albums, and every album that has come out since Oddments. Yeah, I'd say that it was a worthwhile experiment. Anyway, yeah, I know most of this video is me talking about beer and Vegemite and not the actual music or the album, but, you know, it's a small album to begin with. Anyways, anyway, yeah, try some Vegemite if you want, but again, my advice, go easy on it. Don't spread it like it's Nutella or peanut butter or jam or whatever you like. It's not that, right? It's, you take a knife tip, and that's all you need. But again, I'm probably biased to like it because I like all the weird things. Like, I like pickled herrings and olives and pickles and horseradish and sauerkraut and Vegemite and Marmite and Branston pickle and all those other weird things. You know, I see weird food and I'm just like, ooh, let's give that a try. So, is there any other weird foods that I should try? I'll see if we can figure something out.